Time to filter off. Kind of lucky. Theirs isn't low enough to turn on yet, but I shut the extra valve off, the one that drains that line. So later I don't have to walk in there to do that to fill it. Their tub over there in the corner, I checked cows last night, they were out of water. They drank, so I filled it. They didn't drink an inch out of it. The other end of the barn's okay for a while. These girls, it was below half. And the steers and bulls weren't down very far, but I filled it when I was back there. So now I stand around, wait for this, talk to these girls. Got nothing better to do. You know, at least I got some girls to talk to. Oh, sweetheart. Yeah, I can talk to you. And you decide, oh no, you creepy old man, I'm going to run away. What about the rest of you? Nobody wants to come say hi to me. That's okay. The yearlings did. I had 3 of them come up. The 3 normal ones. And Red Man says, hey, can I go play with the cows? I say, no, leave them alone. Ty had an idea last night. Those new lights we put on the house. I got one of those left, and there's one just like it that's a motion light that's supposed to go at the other end of the back barn. That light in the middle of the screen is just a regular old spotlight, just so there'd be light out here years ago. Really don't do squat, but it's on a box, there's wires to it. It's hooked up to the second row of lights, which is, right now they're all on, but that row. The first row and the third row are on the same circuit because the third row was added later. That 16 feet was added in 85, 86, somewhere in there we added that. The first 2 bays are original. Anyway, she says, why don't we put that there, which would definitely help. You know, like normal in the right low light conditions, the camera sees better than I do. I mean, on camera I can see her legs. Off camera I can make out her hind leg only because it's making a silhouette. Kind of like over there, I can't see that post in the middle of the screen. I know where it is, so my mind thinks there's something there, but I can't see it. So one of those there would probably be pretty handy. It'd actually be better, probably in there somewhere, but that's where that is, and that's where the box is, and you know, the main part can shine out here. Not very high, because I don't want to blind that camera. And then the side pieces, you know, one can go that way, and one can light this up better. So anyway, and I guess here in a couple hours, I think we're going to get to see a Maury. He hasn't been able to make it out, other than when he and I went, and his dad went down to the auction on Monday. Otherwise, he's been busy and I think enjoying single life. Make me take care of his better half. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to finish this and go rattle Ty and Becky and figure out the day. At least they're being quiet, the others aren't, but I don't know. So looky there, the mighty Tahoe. It just got a new transmission, well, rebuilt. It had, once in a while, stuttering issues ever since Ty got in the wreck. But everything supposedly checked out fine. You know, you hook it up to the computer says everything's fine. No, the torque converter kind of self-destructed. But Maury just brought it out to her. Not that she can drive for a while, but what you don't see is Ty getting a hug after a week of not seeing her. She's not supposed to be first. She's supposed to be first. I wonder how this is going to work out. Well, let's find out. And no, I haven't got a lot of video today. Doing a lot of stuff where I just didn't make it happen. Well, you knew that's how that was going to work out, right? Because she is sly like a fox. You know you got to move your head. And you know you got to move your butt. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, spooked you. I'll almost give you a headache. I'm a little slow at this. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get a walk up there because, honest, I mean, what you saw that yesterday, that's what I've seen. I haven't been any closer. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. This used to be shot gates until we switched and we just drilled a hole and put a pin in. And they knock those out once in a while, but that was sticking out. Kind of spooked me for a second. And of course I still have to go feed hay to the heifers. My favorite job, actually. Would be a little better with small bales because I can bend over and drag small bales out to the end of the walkway and throw them out without hitting my head. But dealing with the big bale, all I seem to do is hit my head. Got one spot on top. I didn't shave my head for 3 days. Let it heal up enough I could shave over it. And no, that wasn't with a regular razor. That was with that stinking, like an Norelco type shaver. Anyway, I'm going to go feed them. Then we'll take a look at what those trees look like. And then I'm going to go in. Hey, I didn't hit my head tonight. I did touch one rafter when I was putting a pitchfork away, but I just touched its all. So, there they are. Ty and Becky plan on drilling holes into the stumps and planting succulents. But this old grouse ladder here, she's always been a bumpy one. It's not a Doug fir. It may be one of them they use for Christmas trees. Around here anyway. It's got flat needles like a noble. That's what I was trying to think of. Let's just see what we got here. There we go, y'all. Breaks 36 inches. When I was a kid, I don't think there was 10 feet difference between the height of those two trees. That one was a little smaller diameter then too. Yeah, he could have knocked the spikes off of that. Reason for his funny cut is he notched it, then he went in and cut the heart out. So all he had to cut was this side and that side. His saw he had didn't have enough long enough bar on it, and we got some free rope. I knew we did. The knot was apparently underneath it, and they ended up just cutting it. I think they got it off the other one, but let's see if we can, if the yo-yo will come out. See what we get on this one. Just because I'm probably not at the widest point, but just shy of 4 foot. And these things with so many limbs on them, we call them grouse ladders, because that's really what they are. I mean, will it make lumber? Yeah, I'd make lumber. The only way I can make lumber out of it is find somebody with their own mill and have them come in and mill it up. Can't sell it to a lumber mill because that requires logging permits and everything else, but you can take a tree down and do it yourself. What surprised me, especially from where I was when this one went down, is the number of limbs that are not sticking up. It hit the ground and most of them broke off from the sides. And there's a lot of firewood in those limbs too. And then there's this little one. It's been topped a couple of times. Somebody gave that to Mom and Dad. If I recall correctly, it was a housewarming gift. House was built 76, 77, so the housewarming would have been in 77. And it wasn't supposed to get very tall. It was only supposed to get like 10 or 15 feet tall, but when you look what's right above it. So she's been topped a few times. Now I guess Becky wants me to grub these stumps out. And that clump of crap there, we're leaving the boxwood. That boxwood's earned the right to stay there forever. Don't know how the madrone got there. The closest are literally the other side of those trees up there on top of that hill along the field we farm. So, you know, obviously a bird brought a seed or something. But Mom wanted to leave the madrone, and I told her with where it was at, don't count on it. She might be vibrating in her box, I don't know. Madrones are cool trees. Problem is, that little tree right there is heavy enough that I probably can't pick the bud up. And I'm serious. I was logging, we did a patch about 6 miles from here that literally half of it was madrone, but they were 12 to 18 inch diameter. Quite a few 4 to 6 inches. And the faller was nice enough to make sure and lay most of them on top of something. Most of them broke on top of something, so that I could get a choker on them. And I came to a couple like 4 and 6 inch ones that were laid down flat on the ground. I literally had to catch them with a skidder blade and push them around until I got something to slide them up onto so I could get a choker around them, because I couldn't move them. That wasn't gonna happen. So anyway, I guess this is the last thing I gotta do for the day. Empty bag full of garbage out of the shop and the machine shed and the barn. At least I got that done. And as you saw, I fed. I was going to feed 4 bales. I only fed 3. Steers, 2-year-olds, and 1 in the feed barn. And I've still got plans on working on that trailer tongue. I got a piece of, looks like it's probably 3/16 by 2 up on the shelf that I think is long enough to graft onto the good part of what's there. But I got to get it down to do that. And I got a Ty coming out here exposing her belly to everybody.
My steri strips came off my belly.
Your steri strips came off your belly button. Okay, graphic warning.
Yeah.
I think it looks good.
And then this one I still want to put a band-aid on later.
Yeah.
But this one I think we'll leave.
That one did like the other spots from reaction to the adhesive of the tape.
Yeah, that one popped when I removed the steri strip.
This one ended up full of blood and
This one's
stuff.
still good.
Cool. And we redid the steri strips the other night because they were bugging her. The adhesive on them bothers her and Becky both. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you all had a great Sunday. Everybody has a great Monday, and we'll see what happens in the morning. Last thing I saw, they're talking rain tomorrow, I think.
It's freeze. So
yeah.
It's hopefully Maury's okay going to Pendleton.
Oh yeah, Maury's got to run to Pendleton and pick up a piece of logging equipment.
Don't mind me, I'm just stressed out over that.
He's headed out 4 o'clock in the morning, so.
One's going to be frozen. Excuse you.
Anyway, that's the day. Probably got too long of a video now, but you'll get over it. Oh yeah, we saw the geese earlier too. I'm trying to zoom in with, yeah, it didn't work out too good.